Good evening from Athens, Tennessee. The Bluefield Rams on the road facing Tennessee Wesleyan, and tip-off just underway. The Rams lead 3-2, 1 minute into the start of tonight's game. Shelby Key comes away with a steal, pulls up, and buries a jump shot. Bluefield has opened up a 5-2 lead here in the opening minutes over Tennessee Wesleyan. Get you caught up on the starting lineups in just a moment. Apologize for the delayed start. Had some technical issues here in Athens. Look down to the post, and a foul is called against Mariah Mazik. Bluefield on the road tonight facing the Tennessee Wesleyan Lady Bulldogs, a team one of the top in the nation. The Rams gave them their first win of the year, and it was their only win for a long time, only loss of the year came against Bluefield for a long time until over the weekend. Tennessee Wesleyan lost on the road at Union. Shot is up and in, and it is knocked down by Bacher for Tennessee Wesleyan, and it is now 5-4. But you caught up on everything in just a moment. The Rams with the basketball down, or rather leading by 1 point. Here on the Rams Digital Sports Network, Trey Wilson with you this evening from Eastern Tennessee, not too far north of Chattanooga. And Shelby Key called for a travel. The Rams turn it over, first turnover for either team so far early. Rams in his own defense to start the game. Ball worked to Booker, who drives down the lane, puts up a shot, no good. It's deflected by Mariah Mazik, who grabs the rebound, has it stolen out of her hands by Gasper, and Gasper lays it up for two. Tennessee Wesleyan leads 6-5. Rams with their first deficit of the game. Tennessee Wesleyan has the lead. Tennessee Wesleyan lost over the weekend to Union, 68-66 on the road. One of the top teams in the country. Shot knocked down. Rams jump back in front, 7-6. Tennessee Wesleyan with the ball. Driving is Gasper. She kicks out for a three-point shot, and it's hit from the corner by Adams. A three by Adams, and it's 9-7. Tennessee Wesleyan leading Bluefield with 16:45 left to play in the first half. And the Rams trying to answer, and a kick out of bounds. Possession stays with Bluefield. Rams inbound at the top of the key to Shelby Key. Bluefield starters tonight, Shelby Key, number 15. Number 23, Whitney Smith from right here in Tennessee. Number 30, Jade McDaniel. Number 2, Mariah Mazik. And number 52, Destiny Tolliver. Another kick as the ball was off the foot of Adams for Tennessee Wesleyan on the pass from Jade McDaniel. Shot clock will reset to 15. Give you the Tennessee Wesleyan starters right now while we have a break. Number 00, Jenna Adams, the 6'1" forward out of Etowah, Tennessee. Number 1, Shira Bewley, the 5'6" senior guard from Knoxville. Jump shot up in the air from about 10 feet out for Tolliver is no good. Number 11, Jared Gasper, the 5'8" junior guard from Loudon, Tennessee. Number 15, Armika Booker, the 6'1" post player from Oak Ridge, Tennessee. And number 24, Melanie Barker, the 5'11" junior from Dunlap, Tennessee. Drive down the baseline. Tolliver tipped a shot and then called for a late foul. Gasper will head to the line for 2 shots. Rams down 9-7 here in the early going at Tennessee Wesleyan. Women's basketball action here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. And free throws coming up for Gasper. And she hits the first one. 10-7 is the score. And Gasper averages 6 points a game. She's a 64% free throw shooter on the season. And she misses the second. Tolliver with the rebound. Rams trying to overcome this early 3-point gap. Jade McDaniel at the top of the circle. Tries to hand off to Smith, and Smith is fouled by Gasper. First foul against Tennessee Wesleyan here in the early going. 15:41 left in the first half. Rams down 10-7 here on the road. Inbound pass goes to Key at the top of the circle. And it's turned over. Pass stolen away by Gasper. Wesleyan on the break. Looking to the post. Adams swings it back up for a three in the corner. Shot up from Barker, and it's off the front of the iron. No good. Adams gets the rebound. Sweeps up and under McDaniel. Shot too strong. She gets her own rebound again. And a travel. She took a couple steps backwards, and the Rams get the possession. Turnover for the Bulldogs. And a timeout called by Corey Mullins and the Rams. 10-7. Bluefield trailing Tennessee Wesleyan on the road on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Back here on the Rams Digital Sports Network, Bluefield with the ball coming off of the Tennessee Wesleyan turnover and the timeout called. Pass looking to the post. Mazik comes away with it, puts up a shot, and a foul is called on it's an offensive foul. Called a push-off against Mazik. And that's Mazik's second foul. Just 15:05 left to play in the first half. A 10-7 lead for Tennessee Wesleyan here in Athens, Tennessee. Top of the circle, ball's worked around, looking into the post. On the floor for Booker, who puts up a shot, rolls it in. 2 points for Booker, and it's 12-7 Tennessee Wesleyan. Tennessee Wesleyan, the number 10 team in the nation, entering play today, had climbed up to number 8 before the weekend loss, just the second of the year. Up top, Jade McDaniel pulls up for three and clanks it off the side of the iron, no good. Booker the rebound for the Bulldogs, who are off going from left to right. And a travel call. Gasper stopped and started moving before she put it on the floor. 14:22 left until halftime. Rams coming off of a 47-44 loss over the weekend against St. Andrews on the road, a close road loss in AAC play. Interplay with a 10-13 record overall, 7-8 in the conference, and the Rams turn it over, trying to find Smith. Key threw it out of bounds. Turnovers piling up early. That is the fifth already for Bluefield, against two from Tennessee Wesleyan. And Bulldogs with the basketball. And Tennessee Wesleyan wearing the home gray uniforms. Rams in the blue for the road trip. Booker skips back up to the top of the circle. Adams almost lost it. Key grabs for a moment, then it goes back over. Pass back to the post. Shot is up off of the mark from Booker. Booker gets her own rebound and puts it up and in. Right around Tolliver for two. And it's 14-7. Tennessee Wesleyan doubling up the Rams early and on a run to stretch this lead. Trying to slow down Shelby Key. Over to Tolliver on the left side of the circle at the top of the key. Back around to Shelby and then around to Jade McDaniel. Works it to the left wing for Whitney Smith. Popping out, Mazik gets it, then goes down low. Tolliver puts it up off the glass, and it rolls in. Got it to go right around Booker. Rams in the cold streak and pulls it back to 5. It's 14-9, 13-15 left in the first half. Bewley, the guard for Tennessee Wesleyan, works to the corner for Gasper, trying to find an open spot in the zone defense. Three-point shot is up in the air from Adams. It's off the mark, and Tolliver corrals the rebound. Key kicks over. Smith left alone for three, puts it in the air, and it's an air ball off the mark. Picked up by Adams. Wesleyan on the counter. And a travel called as Bewley tried to drive down the right side of the lane and picked up the ball, carried it like a running back. A sub checking in for Tennessee Wesleyan, number 22, Kelsey Young, the 5'7" guard, sophomore. Sub coming in, Abigail Peck will give a break to Destiny Tolliver. Peck, the sophomore for Bluefield, reserve post player, a 6'3" center out of Jacksonville, North Carolina. Mazik gets it to the top of the arc, drives left side of the lane, and another travel whistle. Turnovers on all sides. Mazik picked it up and tried to push off a turnover. Lucky not to get called for a third foul as she dipped the elbow. 6 turnovers for the Rams here in the first half. 12:30 until the break, trailing 14-9 to Tennessee Wesleyan. Looking down to the post, Adams backing down against Peck, skips it across court instead. A three-point shot is knocked down. Three-pointer drilled by Kelsey Young. And it's 17-9, Tennessee Wesleyan jumping ahead of Bluefield. Smith drives down the lane. Whitney Smith puts up a shot and throws it out of bounds. Drew contact, no whistle for a foul. 11:57 until halftime. Rams on the road today here at Tennessee Wesleyan. Return home this weekend to face Reinhardt. For now, got business to take care of here. Barker goes around to McKinnon. Three-point shot up again from Young, and this one's off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound grabbed underneath by McKinnon, and she lays it up for 2. And a player down after the play, it's Abigail Peck. A quick whistle. Peck gets up fine. Sharonda Tate checks in for Mariah Mazik. Rams down now by 10 with 11:30 left in the first half. It's 19-9 Tennessee Wesleyan. And an offensive foul called as Shelby Key brought it across half court. Whitney Smith elbowed her way through. Early calls going the way of the Bulldogs here at Tennessee Wesleyan. Already 5 fouls called against the Rams with 11:25 left in the first half. Bewley the guard for the number 10 Bulldogs. Looking down in the post, Adams, and a foul called against Tennessee Wesleyan. A push-off goes against McKinnon. Officials are not letting much go. A lot of contact on both sides, and everything's getting whistled. We've already seen 8 foul calls against the two teams as McKinnon picks up her first. Now Key up to the three-point line, hands off to Tate and immediately gets it back. Goes off of a Tate screen on the right side of the circle, instead backs out and resets the offense with 15 on the shot clock. Gives up to Tate, spinning down the lane. Tate puts up a floater, rolls it in off the back of the iron. Sharonda Tate gets her first 2, and it's 19-11, back within 7 points. Bewley on the right side of the Rams zone. Kicks across to Barker, who's quickly picked up by Key. Gives it up and gets it right back, now open for 3, and it's off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound to Adams, who puts up the shot, and she couldn't drop it. Tate gets the board, and Key slows up across half court. A competition that Rams head coach Corey Mullins knows well, an AAC vet over the years. A tough Tennessee Wesleyan women's team that Bluefield defeated earlier this year, and a foul underneath. And a foul called against Tennessee Wesleyan. Off the ball, Young is whistled for the foul. That's her first, and the 4th team foul against the Bulldogs in the first half. Whitney Smith, baseline inbound, skips it up for Shelby Key just outside the three-point line, and she gets it guarded by Bewley. Tennessee Wesleyan is now in a man-to-man defense. Key pulls up from just past the elbow, and her shot's well off the mark. Bewley grabs the board. Skips up court, gets it back. Bewley, the left side of the circle, around to Young. Young, entry pass to the post. It's kicked back out top instead. Bewley resets the offense. Looking down to the block again. Booker goes over to the right side for Gasper. Now left alone. Bewley puts up the 3, and it rims off. No good. Tipped in the air. The rebound. Tate comes down with it and lost it off of her arm out of bounds. Timeout called by Corey Mullins. Looked like Tate had it and then kicked it off her knee. 19-11, Tennessee Wesleyan leading Bluefield in the first half with 9:43 until the break on the Rams Digital Sports Network. 19-11, Tennessee Wesleyan leading Bluefield. Quick inbound pass and a three-point shot off the timeout is no good from Gasper. Rebound tipped and it ends up with McDaniel. Rams take over. 9:35 left until halftime. The Rams on the road against number 10, Tennessee Wesleyan, trailing by 8, led early. We've had the turnover bug here in the first half. Smith disregards the screen from Tolliver, drives into a trap and has to kick it back up top for Sharonda Tate. Tate gives it over to Key, who backs up and tries to set something else up. Instead, pulls up for a three, and it's a line drive off the iron, no good. Empty possession, rebound to the Bulldogs, and Tennessee Wesleyan's off and running. Into the corner, a three-point try for Gasper. Hit it. Gasper stretches the lead to the largest it's been so far, 22-11. Gasper's now got 6 points here in the early going. Tate on the other end drives and kicks over to Tolliver, puts it up. No good, but she's fouled. And 2 shots on the way for Destiny Tolliver to try to cut it back to single digits. Fouls against 22 Young. That's the second foul against Young. Now Tolliver to the line. She's a 60% free throw shooter this year. And hits the first. Tolliver's got 3 points in the early going. A couple of subs. Mariah Mazik is back in for the Rams. New players checking in as well for Tennessee Wesleyan. Destiny Smith is on the floor. Second free throw is off the mark. Rebound ripped down by Booker. Tennessee Wesleyan pushes it back across half court. Gasper running the point. Skips over to the newly checked in Smith. And Smith gives it up to popping out Jenna Adams. Ends up back over with Smith. Shot clock down to 11. Adams pulls up for a jump shot just inside the circle. No good. Rebound falls right into the hands of Tolliver. And Key walks the slow break across half court. Gives up to Tate, who pulls up for the jump shot. And it's off the rim. No good. Contested shot in transition. And nothing for the Rams on that possession. Down by 10 with 8 minutes left until halftime. Smith drives and kicks to Gasper. Gasper into the trap, instead gives it over to Barker. Barker back over to Gasper, down to the baseline for Adams on the right side. Shot clock is down to 5. Barker driving and a foul called on the floor with 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Shelby Key reached in. A tough foul. The first on Key and the 6th against the Rams. Tennessee Wesleyan will shoot from here out in the first half. Tempest Lewis checks in for Jade McDaniel. Pass up to half court off the baseline to Gasper. Fresh shot clock after the foul. Another chance for Tennessee Wesleyan to try to set up. Barker drives baseline on the right side. Skips to the top of the key for Smith. Goes down into the post, tipped out of bounds. And off of Adams. Rams get the ball. Tolliver got a hand in. Deflected the pass off of Adams. 7:30 until halftime. Rams trying to cut the deficit back to single digits. Mazik pops out right of the circle. Drives down the left side of the lane, and a foul is whistled on the floor as Mazik was on her way in. Fouls against Booker, her first. Rams getting out rebounded early, 12-6. Giving up 5 offensive rebounds to Tennessee Wesleyan. A handful of second chance points early on for the Bulldogs. The Rams have yet to grab an offensive board of their own, but that has been a big reason why this early deficit has fallen to 10 points. Inbound pass comes to Tolliver, and she's fouled on the way up at the basket by Booker. Destiny Tolliver will head to the free throw line as Booker gets called for her first foul here in the first half. Rams join Corey Mullins over at the bench as Tolliver hits the first free throw to cut it back to a 9-point game with 7:18 until halftime. Second free throw from Tolliver. Hits them both. Tolliver getting active in this scoring here early. She's got 5. And it's 22-14. Rams down by 8. Tough road game against the number 10 team in the country. It's a whiteout tonight here at Tennessee Wesleyan. Drive down the baseline, kicked out to the corner for Gasper. She instead goes back to the top of the circle. Barker spins, 5 seconds of the shot clock. Hail Mary three, thrown up and hit from Gasper. 25-14, Tennessee Wesleyan leads. Gasper's got 9 points in the first half. That's the second three that she's hit. Tennessee Wesleyan now shooting 4 of 9 from outside. Lewis looking to the post. Tolliver spins and puts it up off the glass, hits the back of the rim, no good. Had the size advantage against a much shorter Smith inside, but couldn't get it to drop in. And then Tennessee Wesleyan throws it away. Pass in transition from Bewley too far, and it went out of bounds. 25-14, 6:24 to play in the first half. Bluefield trailing Tennessee Wesleyan. Key gives over to Tate. Mazik has it on the right wing. Skips it across to Shelby Key. Key dribbles towards the basket, puts up a shot, and she's fouled. Looked like she had it taken right out of her hand by Bewley, but the Rams get the call, and the home crowd doesn't like it. They might have a case. Good defensive play from Bewley. But free throws coming up for Key. As again, the Rams look to cut the deficit. They trail Tennessee Wesleyan 25-14. First free throw for Key, rattles in. Shelby has her third point of the night. Second shot, rolls off no good, and the rebound is grabbed by Gasper. Gasper slows down across half court, gives up to the point guard, Bewley. Clock hits 6 minutes left. A 10-point gap. Moreland over to Bewley and back to Bewley. Now down to the block. Booker puts it on the floor and kicked it off her foot out of bounds. Turnover number 8 for Tennessee Wesleyan. They've survived it so far. The Rams have 7 turnovers, but Tennessee Wesleyan has made Bluefield pay. 9 points off turnovers here in the early going. Tolliver, left wing, over to Tate, around to Shelby Key. Lewis pops out, gives it over to Mariah Mazik. Shot clock is down to 15. Tate goes over to Shelby Key, now going down to Destiny Tolliver, backing to the glass, fires up a wild shot, got nothing, an air ball. Gasper the rebound. Transition for Tennessee Wesleyan. Gasper gives it up and gets it back. It's kicked outside from Moreland. Moreland puts it on the floor, reset at the top of the arc with Bewley. Bewley asking for a screen, instead gives it up. Wide open, Barker for three. Hit it. Three-pointer for Barker. It's 28-15. Tennessee Wesleyan has its largest lead so far, just about doubling up the Rams. Whitney Smith to check in at the next dead ball. Tate took a couple steps, didn't get called for it, puts it up for two and hit it. Skipped her way down the left side of the lane and got the floater to drop in. 28-17 for 40, showing on the clock. Looking down to the post, Booker blocked out of bounds, but a foul's called. 2 shots coming up for Booker. Fouls against Tolliver. And Armika Booker, the 71% free throw shooter this year for Tennessee Wesleyan, averages just over 12 points a game, the second leading scorer on the team. Crisp and perfect on the first free throw. Whitney Smith in for Tempest Lewis. Second foul shot is good. Lead 30-17. Down to the post for Tolliver, instead gives up to Key. 15 on the shot clock. Tate to Mazik on the right wing. Steps out past the elbow. Fires up a wild shot. Caught the side of the backboard and nothing else. Rams forcing shots from mid-range here in the first half and trailing by 13. 4 minutes until halftime. Gasper up to Bewley. Gets it back. Down to the block. Booker backing up. Kicks out. Wide open is Moreland. And a whistle for a travel is called. And a turnover. Rams trail by 13 in the first half, not yet letting it get away against the very tough Tennessee Wesleyan team, but in danger of falling behind into an early big deficit. Tolliver in the post, spins back off the back of the rim, no good, and reaches in and is called for a foul against Barker. Abigail Peck checks back in for Tolliver. And a 1-and-1 coming up. That's the 8th team foul against the Rams. First shot from Barker. She knocks it down. 31-17, Tennessee Wesleyan leading. Second foul shot. Rolls in and falls through. Smith goes off of a screen of Tate, gives up to Key, who fires up a three, and it rolls around and drops through. It was a dart of a three from Shelby Key. Hit the rim, bounced off the backboard, rolled around the top of the rim, and dropped through to cut it back to 12. Shelby Key getting points early. She has 6. Rams down by 12. Tennessee Wesleyan trying to stretch it back. Wide open under the basket. Booker lays it up for 2. Off a nice feed from Bewley. And lead is back to 10. Key gives back to Tate. Tate drives in, throws up a wild shot off the rim, no good. Booker's there for the rebound. Another quick empty possession. And another forced shot for Bluefield, now down 14. And the shot blocked out of bounds. And the Rams get it back. Excuse me, not down 14, down 10. The scoreboard here in the arena is showing 34-20. Should instead show 32-22, I do believe. Kicked out. Mazik puts it on the floor, spins down the lane with contact, puts up a shot, no good, gets her own rebound, double teamed, and she's fouled on the way back up. Two shots coming up from Mariah Mazik. I have to correct the score. I believe the in-arena scoreboard might be correct, showing 34-20. With 2:24 left in the first half. Mazik hits the first free throw. Mariah second on the team in scoring, 12 points a game, 75% from the stripe this year. Second foul shot, got it. 34-22. Now back the other way, Booker up and under, drops it in for 2 points, and it's 36-22. Key steps back outside of the arc, gives up to Tate, under 2 minutes left in the first half. Tate to Mazik, and Mazik is called for a travel, started to walk before she dribbled. McDaniel comes back in, Mariah Mazik to the bench. Foul trouble early for Bluefield. Mazik has 2 fouls. Whitney Smith has 2 fouls. Destiny Tolliver on the bench has 3 fouls in the first half. Rams need an inside presence. Tolliver gives them that, but in the foul trouble early. Abigail Peck having to spell her for now. Barker for Tennessee Wesleyan finds a wide open Young. Young drives to the basket, puts up a floater with contact from Peck, and it's no good. Peck deflects the shot. Key is on the break. Driving in, she kicks out. Wild pass right into the Tennessee Wesleyan bench. Another Bluefield turnover. Turnover number 9 in the first half for the Rams. Key drove in with nowhere to go. Looked to kick out to Smith and missed her by about 5 feet. Tennessee Wesleyan working around the top of the circle, and it's thrown away. Bewley trying to work it back across the time, or near the timeline, to Barker, and the pass went right over her head. So Tate to inbound. It's Key, Tate, Peck, Smith, and McDaniel. The 5 on the floor for the Rams with just over a minute until halftime. Smith works to Key on the left wing. Key looks at the post. Peck working, wants the ball, and a travel called as Key started to dribble before she, rather started to walk before she dribbled, and Key eyeing down the official. That has been at least the 8th travel call that we have seen against these two teams, and a timeout called by Tennessee Wesleyan. It is 36-22 with 59 seconds left until halftime. And you're listening to the Rams Digital Sports Network. (36-22), 59 seconds until halftime. Tennessee Wesleyan with the lead and the ball at home against the Rams. Barker quickly up for 3, and she drilled it. Make it 39-22. Up top, Whitney Smith, 35 seconds until halftime. Smith, a 3-point shot, barely grazed the bottom of the net. An air ball for Smith, bounces out of bounds. Tennessee Wesleyan can hold for the last shot of the half. Just about hold, about a half-second differential in the shot clock and the game clock. With now 20 seconds left, Bewley across half court, dribbling, waiting. Shelby Key all the way back at the 3-point line. Game clock down to 10, gotta go. Bewley looking to the corner, wide open, Gasper for 3, and she rattled it in. Left all by herself, and the lead is 20, the largest it's been so far. Nobody's there to take it out for Bluefield, and the halftime clock runs out. 42-22 at halftime. Bluefield trailing number 10, Tennessee Wesleyan, on the Rams Digital Sports Network. We'll be back in 15 minutes to wrap up the first half and get you ready to conclude this game on the road. Give you the first half stats as well. Be back, check back in 15 minutes on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Second half coming up here at Tennessee Wesleyan. The Rams trail the number 10 Lady Bulldogs 42-22 at halftime. On the road, a tough first half for Bluefield, who led early on, but the Bulldogs went on a big run to stretch out the lead. Scoring in the first half for the Rams, Bluefield was led by Destiny Tolliver with her 5 points and 3 rebounds, but she had 3 fouls, played limited minutes, and went just 1 of 5 from the floor. Did hit 3 free throws. Shelby Key did have 6 points. That led the way in scoring for the Rams in the first half. 4 points for Sharonda Tate, 3 for Whitney Smith on 1 of 3 shooting from outside, and 4 points from Mariah Mazik, 1 of 3 from the floor. The Rams shot 33% from the floor in the first half. For Tennessee Wesleyan, had a group effort. Amika Booker, 14 points underneath. She worked the post, also had 5 rebounds. 12 points in the first half for Jarrett Gasper, who went 3 of 4 shooting from outside. Melanie Barker had 8 points and a couple of rebounds for Tennessee Wesleyan. Leading scorer on the year, Jenna Adams, held to just 3 points, 1 of 4 from the floor, had 2 fouls in the first half. Also 2 fouls on Kelsey Young, who had 3 points. And 2 points in the first half for Sarah McKinnon. Playing but not scoring the first half, Shira Bewley, the point guard. Destiny Smith checked in late. Madison McWilliams and Allie Moreland. For the Rams, playing but not scoring, Jade McDaniel, Abigail Peck, and Tempest Lewis. Bluefield shot 33% from the floor. Tennessee Wesleyan 14 of 26, 54% in the first half, and 54% from outside. 7 of 13. Tennessee Wesleyan hit 7 3-pointers in the first half, went 7 of 8 from the free throw line. The Rams went 6 of 8 from the line. Rams were out-rebounded in the first half, 18-8. Tennessee Wesleyan grabbed 5 rebounds, which turned into 4 second chance points, and Tennessee Wesleyan had 12 points off of Bluefield turnovers. Rams get the possession first to start the second half, now going from left to right. Starting the second half, Key, McDaniel, Smith, Tolliver, and Mazik. Key puts up the first shot, driving down the lane, and it's off the mark, no good. Tennessee Wesleyan off on the break. Ball's tipped around, nearly knocked out of bounds, but it's corralled back in by Barker. Barker pulls up from 10 feet and buries the jump shot. Largest lead of the game is 22 points, 44-22. Opening up the second half. Barker now with 10. Rams getting routed on the road tonight. Jade McDaniel over to Shelby Key, looking the post and stepping in front of it. Adams gets the steal. Rams turnover. Bewley leads the break back over half court for Tennessee Wesleyan. 3-point shot from Gasper is off the mark. Hit the side of the rim, left it short. Now Key off the rebound, pushing the tempo for the counter. Stops at the elbow, kicks back out to Smith to set the offense back up. Inside for Mazik. Mazik pulls up from the free throw line, clanks it off the side of the iron, no good. The rebound to Busey. Or Bewley rather. Bewley with a couple of rebounds in the first half, but did not score on her one shot. Did have 7 assists in the first half with the guard. Definitely a pass-first guard for the number 10 Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs. Rams back in the zone defense. Ball skipped into the corner. Barker back up top. Another 3-point shot is up and off the mark from Gasper. And a foul is whistled under the basket as Smith trying to box out. And the foul's called against Tennessee Wesleyan's Adams. Official took forever to turn around and say who the foul was on, just held his hand in the air. And that was not a popular call here in Athens. 9th-year head coach Jeff Rice of Tennessee Wesleyan had some words with the official on that one. 2 minutes into the second half, Rams trailing 44-22. Whitney Smith, a pump fake from the free throw line, kicks over to Key. Key into the post. Tolliver back over to Mazik at the elbow. Drives the lane. Extra pass underneath for Tolliver, and she missed a point-blank wide-open layup. Rebound to the Bulldogs. Bewley underneath. A couple of steps under the basket for Adams. They don't call it, and she rolls it in for 2. 46-22. Tennessee Wesleyan with its largest lead. Wesleyan lost over the weekend against Union as Key pulls up for 3 and misses. Tolliver tipped the rebound in the air, chases it down, and ends up with McDaniel. Another try for the Rams. McDaniel left alone. The 3 off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound to Gasper. Tennessee Wesleyan lost over the weekend against Union, just the second loss of the year for the Bulldogs, who had climbed up to 8th in the country, now at 10. Only other loss this year was back at the Dome on December the 3rd. The Rams beat Tennessee Wesleyan 59-58 in a game in which Adams scored 21. She's been quiet tonight for the Rams. Destiny Tolliver had 17 points, and Whitney Smith had 15 in the upset bid. Free try from the corner, rolls out, no good from Bewley. Offensive rebound, Adams puts it up and in. 48-22, second half. All Tennessee Wesleyan 6-0 since the halftime break on the run for the Bulldogs. McKee steps through, goes over to McDaniel at the top of the circle and gets it back, looking to the post. Tolliver backing up against Adams, spins, throws up a wild shot, hits the back of the rim. And the rebound to Adams. Bewley goes to Adams. Adams pulls up for a three and rolls it in. Adams is on a 7-0 run by herself. The Rams down 51-22. Corey Mullins calls timeout. 16:05 left in the first half. Bluefield getting run out of the building by Tennessee Wesleyan on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Rams have it out of the timeout, trailing 51-22 with 16 minutes left to play against number 10, Tennessee Wesleyan. Going from left to right, Rams with the ball, down big, looking to the post. Smith feeds it to Tolliver. Tolliver backing up, puts it off the glass, no good, but draws a foul. Booker called for the foul. It's her first. And two shots coming up for Tolliver, who is playing with 3 fouls, all of them coming in the first half. She had 5 points in the first half, but spent most of the opening parts of the game on the bench with 3 quick fouls. Banks the first shot, no good. Put it off the backboard. A couple of those fouls for Tolliver coming 90 feet away from the basket after her own miss reaching in against Tennessee Wesleyan. Second foul, shots off the mark, no good, but the rebound is tipped out of bounds by Tennessee Wesleyan. Rams get another shot. Inbound pass to Smith. Smith out to McDaniel. McDaniel pump fake, steps inside the arc, puts up a shot, no good, and the rebound is ripped down by Tennessee Wesleyan. Strong board for Barker. A couple of tries at it for the Rams and still nothing as Tennessee Wesleyan has a chance to stretch it out even further. Road games in this league so tough. That's showing again tonight. Adams for 3, rolls it in. And the run continues for Adams all by herself. She has now scored 10 straight points. And it's 54-22 with 15 minutes left. Adams, who did very little in the first half offensively, the leading scorer this year for the Bulldogs. Sharonda Tate backs down at the block and lays it off the glass and in. That ends the run. The Rams cut it back to 30. Three-point shot from Adams. This one's off the mark. Tolliver grabs the board. Rams go back and looking to start chipping away. Still plenty of time, but a huge gap to overcome against a very tough team in Tennessee Wesleyan. Down to the post, kicked off the foot of the defender Barker. Rams keep it. Key steps back outside the three-point line. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Pulls up from 10 feet, and her jump shot rolls out no good. Tolliver the rebound, puts it back up, and draws nothing. Rebound's tipped out by Adams, and a player down for Tennessee Wesleyan. It's Gasper. Officials halt the game for a moment. Tennessee Wesleyan this year, a team that averages nearly 70 points a game and only gives up 50. They've been winning in blowout fashion as Gasper gets up and heads to the bench. And that first loss of the year for Tennessee Wesleyan came at Bluefield, 59-58 on December 3rd. Tennessee Wesleyan went into that game 9-0 in the year and then rattled off after that one a 13-game winning streak before losing this past Saturday by 2 on the road against Union. Wins this year for Tennessee Wesleyan against some pretty tough competition, including NAI Division I Georgetown. On the road, won by 7 at Georgetown. A foul is called as Adams went up for a shot. It's against Tate. 2 shots coming up for Adams. But 1 on the road at a tough Georgetown team. 1 on the road against Mid-South Conference's Cumberland, the Bulldogs in Tennessee. The first foul shot is up. It's actually Booker who goes to the line, and Booker misses the first free throw. Second foul shot rolls in, 55-24, 13:40 left. Those 2 wins alone for Tennessee Wesleyan say a lot about what they have done this season, going up a level in NAI and defeating tough teams at that level. Georgetown, not quite as strong as they've been in the past, but still very good this year. Whitney Smith for 3, well off the mark. Adams grabs the rebound. The Rams have had some good wins over the course of this year that have had some tough losses, the mark of a middling 500 team. Stretches of winning and stretches of losing. Had won 4 out of 5 going into Saturday. Up and under, Booker lays it in for 2. 57-24, Tennessee Wesleyan continues to stretch out the lead, now on a 15-2 run since the halftime break. Jump shot up in the air just inside the free throw line for Key is off the iron. No good. Rebound to the Bulldogs. Off on the break. Kicked out into the corner for Young. Young drives and swings back. It ends up wide open with Adams in the left corner. Fires up a 3 off the mark. Key with the rebound and now taking on Tennessee Wesleyan 1-on-3. Stops up, puts up a shot and draws a foul. And shots on the way for Key. Crowd wanted the offensive on the push-off. The foul is against Booker. It's her second. 2 free throws on the way for Shelby Key, who has led the Rams in scoring to this point with just 6 points. And her first foul shot is good. Key, the junior out of Washington, D.C. 7 points on the night. Booker comes out for Tennessee Wesleyan. Key's second free throw drops through. Booker is replaced by the post player Keely Frederick, the 6-foot freshman out of Sonny Daisy, Tennessee, making her first appearance tonight. Down to the block immediately goes to Frederick, who fires it off the glass, no good. Rams on the break with numbers. Smith at the right elbow, slows up and waits for everyone to catch up. Had the ball nearly stripped out of her hands, lost it for a moment, grabs it back in, almost threw it away, but McDaniel brings it back in. Tate with 15 on the shot clock, going to the left elbow, back up to the top of the circle for Key. Shot clock down to 10. Key sweeping through, forces up a shot, and she had it blocked away by Adams. Now Young at the other end, fouled. Right in front of the basket, fouls on the floor as the ball had popped loose. 2 teams going after it. And it's against Whitney Smith, and it's the 3rd foul against Smith tonight. Timeout called by Corey Mullins. Rams trail 57-26 with 11:50 left to play on the Rams Digital Sports Network. 57-26, 11:50 left in the game. Bluefield trailing number 10, Tennessee Wesleyan on the road here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. The inbound pass to Adams as the foul was called against Smith. She picked up her third before the break. Adams, who only had 2 in the first half, now has 13 for the game. She's been on a tear here in the second half. Frederick waiting for help, gives it up to Adams. Up at the top of the circle, guarded by Tate, gives it over for a jump shot from Barker off the mark. Adams grabs the rebound, fires it up off the glass and in. 15 for Adams to go along with her 11 rebounds already. Leading rebounder and scorer this year for Tennessee Wesleyan, taking over in the second half. Key is going to give it up to Tate. Tate runs out of room, looking for somewhere to dump the ball off, gives it back to Key, who comes back to the top of the circle. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Key picks up her dribble, has to find somewhere to give it up, goes to Tate on the block. Tate takes a few steps and drops it in off the back of the backboard. Got it for 2. Tate's have had some contributions off the bench. She now has 8 points, and that is tied for the scoring lead for the Rams with Key. Bewley for Tennessee Wesleyan goes to Frederick at the elbow. Frederick took a step, called for a travel. Tolliver checks back in for the Rams, gives a break to Abigail Peck. A very brief appearance for Peck to start off the second half. We're really nearing the halfway point of the second half. Key slowly dribbles up, hands off to Sharonda Tate, swings it over for Jade McDaniel. McDaniel drives, tries to give it up to Tolliver, nearly lost it. Tolliver brings it back in, spins through the lane and fires up a wild shot off the mark, and the rebound is grabbed by Adams. Who else? Adams flops her way down to the floor trying to draw a foul call. And then driving back the other way, Bewley takes it to the basket and is fouled all the way up. The most obvious thing for the Rams right now is to try to slow down this attack from Tennessee Wesleyan, but nothing's dropping on the offensive end. Only 6 points in the second half. Valerie Lebedeva gets ready to check in for the first time tonight. She comes in for McDaniel. A couple of subs for Tennessee Wesleyan as well. Starters coming back in. First free throw hit by Adams, and Tennessee Wesleyan hits the 60-point mark. 32-point lead for Tennessee Wesleyan, make it 33 as Bewley hits both. 61-28 with 10:10 left to play. Key goes off a screen from Smith. Smith pops back up in front of the three-point line and gets it back. Driving to the basket, and an offensive foul is called against Destiny Tolliver. Illegal screen. Tolliver picks up her 4th. Like Tennessee Wesleyan had some revenge on its mind coming into this game tonight after the Rams gave them their first loss of the year in December. And that playing through here so far. Adams open for 3, off the mark. And the offensive rebound is grabbed by McKinnon. Another try for the Bulldogs to the post. Adams back up to the top of the circle for Bewley. 3-point shot from Gasper. Hit it. 3-pointer good by Gasper. She's got 15 to tie the lead in all scorers. And it's 64-28. 9:20 left in the game. Lebedeva gets the pass at the top of the circle, goes over to Key. Key driving in, falling away from the basket, fired up a wild shot. Lebedeva's there to grab the air ball rebound. And at the reset now, 9 seconds on the shot clock. Key at the top of the three-point line, spins down the lane, fires up a shot, draws a foul as she heads to the floor. Foul is against Moreland for Tennessee Wesleyan, and 2 shots coming up for Key. That's Moreland's first. Key looking to hit double figures for the night. Rattles in the first foul shot. Rams is trying to get to the 30-point mark. .856 left in this game. Key's second foul shot. Rims out, no good. Rebound to McKinnon. Tennessee Wesleyan in no hurry to get back across half court. Under 9 minutes left. Adams works it over to McKinnon in the post. McKinnon blocked out of bounds by Tolliver. And then a late whistle for a foul against Tolliver, and that's her 5th. Tolliver fouls out with 8:36 left to play. She heads to the bench as Tempest Lewis will get ready to check in for her. Foul shots will go to McKinnon and get that unofficial free timeout with the player fouling out. So Corey Mullins having a word with his ladies. Abigail Peck heads to the scoring table to check in as well. Key heads to the bench. So I guess officially Peck is in for Tolliver with her fouling out, and Lewis is in for Key. The Rams come out of this with Tate, Smith, Lewis, Peck, and Lebedeva with the foul shots on the way for McKinnon. Bricks the first. A packed house here at Tennessee Wesleyan. The Rams getting blown out against the number 10 team in the country. McKinnon's second foul shot is off the mark. And a lane violation called against the Rams. She'll have another try. Didn't see who it was. No signal from the official. I believe it was against Peck. The third try at the foul shot is off the mark. Peck grabs the rebound. Smith down the right side of the lane, and a blocking foul called against Gasper. Shot clock will reset. Rams baseline inbound after the foul. It's the 5th foul against Tennessee Wesleyan, the 2nd on Gasper. Smith backs down to the basket, fires up a wild shot off the mark. McKinnon with the rebound. The defense of Tennessee Wesleyan has just been suffocating tonight. You can see why they hold teams to barely over 50 points a game this year. The Rams are going to have to do some work just to get to the 50-point mark. 3-point shot in the air from Adams. Planks off the side of the rim. Peck, a strong rebound, and then almost threw it away. Tate grabs it just in front of half court and walks it across. Left a lane to the basket. She drives in, and a foul called on the floor, as I believe Moreland reached in. It is against Moreland. That's her first. 16 foul against Tennessee Wesleyan in the second half. Rams will shoot from here out. Subs coming in for the Bulldogs. Leanne McAfee, the sophomore to Dunlap, Tennessee, making her debut for tonight. Billy checks out to the bench. Inbound pass nearly taken away. It is stolen away. Moreland comes away with it. Smith was the intended target. The Rams another turnover. Number 13 on the night has turned into 12 points off of turnovers for Tennessee Wesleyan. Those all back in the first half, and then Tennessee Wesleyan gives it back up. A turnover as it went off the hands of Gasper and out of bounds. More subs checking in for Tennessee Wesleyan. Gasper goes to the bench. Madison Walkup, freshman guard, checks in. The entire Tennessee Wesleyan roster hails from the state of Tennessee. Most of them from this eastern part of the state. Key to McDaniel out of the foul, or out of the turnover rather. Lewis couldn't handle the pass. Bobbled it around before she pulled it back in. Smith over to Key. Key drives the lane, puts up a layup, no good, and it's a whistle coming late for a foul against the Rams, a push called against Lewis. Well, Tempest Lewis earns her first foul tonight. 16 fouls for each team, both teams in the bonus for the rest of the way with 7:11 left to play. Smith for Tennessee Wesleyan. Works it around, gets into the block for McKinnon, backs up to the elbow, spins down the lane against Peck, up and under move. Give her all the steps she needs. She took about 4 steps before putting up the shot and missing. Peck got the rebound and then nearly threw it away. It's out of bounds, last touch by Tennessee Wesleyan. For all the travels that have been called tonight on quick steps, the extra steps in the post for both teams have not been called. The Rams have taken some 5-step drives to the basket with no dribble, and now Tennessee Wesleyan has gotten away with a couple as well. Hasn't been the most crisp game for either team, but Bulldogs with the benefit with under 7 minutes left, holding the 35-point lead. Out to McDaniel, shot fake, and then goes over to Lebedeva on the left wing, fires up an arcing three, and she hit it. Valerie Lebedeva gets her first points tonight. It's 64-32. Smith, the guard for Tennessee Wesleyan, drove in and she walked. Travel called, another turnover. The Rams are shooting just 23% tonight, including 3 of 10 from three-point range. The three-point shot percentage is actually much better than their two-point shot percentage tonight. Key drives to the basket, fires it up, no good, but she's fouled. Trying to cut down the right side, drew a foul right at the block against Moreland. It's her second. And foul shots for Shelby Key as she tries to become the first Bluefield player to break into double figures tonight. She has 9 and misses the first. Mazik is in for Peck. Abigail Peck goes back to the bench. Mariah Mazik, who has been absent for much of tonight's game. 4 points for her. Key's second foul shot. This one's good, and she gets the 10 points. 64-33, Bluefield trailing. Number 10, Tennessee Wesleyan with 6 minutes left to play. Looking to the block at the other end for Tennessee Wesleyan. McKinnon fires it up off the mark, an air ball. Key grabs the rebound, takes off on the break herself, heading to the basket, fires up a shot, might have had it deflected by Moreland. It's out of bounds, last off of Tennessee Wesleyan. $5:39 to be exact, left on the game clock. Back up top for Key. Tennessee Wesleyan, barring some kind of huge, miraculous comeback, looking to avenge its earlier loss this season. The Rams a chance to work on some things. Still 5.5 to play. McDaniel drives to the basket, and she's fouled. Foul called against Moreland. The foul called against Walkup, their first. And now Jade McDaniel to the line. McDaniel has not scored tonight. And she misses the first free throw. McDaniel shoots, even coming into tonight, just 36% from the free throw line. Her second, hit that one. Her first point tonight. Rams are down by 30. It's 64-34. McAfee at the top of the arc for Tennessee Wesleyan. Worked over to Moreland. Moreland gives it up to a popping out Walkup. Smith on the left wing, dribbles in, kicks back out to Walkup. Puts up a shot, blocked by Lebedeva, and it comes away to Mazik. Mariah Mazik pushes it up court. Lewis all by herself, puts up a three. She hit the three, but wipe it out because there was a charge called against Mariah Mazik. Mazik picks up her third foul. More subs back in as Tennessee Wesleyan gets some time for its bench tonight. Frederick is back into the ball game, as well as Madison McWilliams. With 4:45 left, Tennessee Wesleyan the big lead and the ball. Looking to the block. It's given to McWilliams, who goes back up top for Walkup. Frederick gets it just inside the three-point line and fires up a shot off the front of the rim. McDaniel the rebound. Rams looking to cut into this 30-point gap. Lebedeva spins down the left side of the lane, puts up a floater off the mark, no good. Frederick the rebound. Wesleyan still pushing it up across half court. Ball's worked up to McWilliams, who puts up a shot, no good. Frederick gets the rebound and tries to put it back up. It goes no good, and then it's tipped out of bounds by the Rams, went off of Lebedeva, who was trying to dive and take it. All bench players in the game now for Tennessee Wesleyan as their starters' stats may be final for the night. A lot of blowout wins for the Bulldogs this year. These players have gotten some playing time for sure, trying to get the next round of Bulldogs ready to go for coming years. McWilliams drives. Key hits the deck. The shot's off the mark, and Lebedeva grabs the rebound. Mazik up under the basket. Rolls around, puts up a shot from the left side. No good. Off the mark, and walk up for Tennessee Wesleyan. The rebound bounces over to Smith, who slows down across half court. 3:25 left to play. The Rams get some subs ready to check in. Shot is up and good for Tennessee Wesleyan, make it 66-34. Lebedeva drives and puts up a floater off the front of the rim. Mazik grabs the offensive rebounds, pushes her way up to the basket, and she's fouled. Mazik heads to the line for 2 shots. And she hits the first foul shot. Mariah Mazik now with 5 points. Brooke Walford is in for Bluefield, making her first appearance tonight, the sophomore out of Tazewell. And Stephanie Lambert checks in for Bluefield as well, making her first appearance. Second foul shot from Mazik is off the mark. Looking down to the post, and it's stripped and taken away by the Rams. Lebedeva gets the steal as they tried to work it to Frederick. Mazik, left side of the lane, kicks it out. Wolford fires up a set shot 3, and it's way too strong. An air ball, and the rebound to Walkup. Back out and reset to Smith. Into the post. McWilliams. And a foul called off the ball. Or rather, they'll call 3 seconds. 3 seconds called against Tennessee Wesleyan. The Rams take it. 2:18 left, down 66-35. Tennessee Wesleyan hasn't scored much over the last 3 minutes or so with some of these reserves in. And this game, pretty lopsided most of the way through since the early Rams lead. Lewis dribbles behind her back and fires up an 8-foot jump shot, no good. Tennessee Wesleyan off on the break. Ball fired up court for Young, who throws it up and under off the back of the rim. Lewis had the rebound, then Walkup took it right out of her hands. Walkup the steal, puts up a shot, no good. Rebound to Smith for Tennessee Wesleyan. She banks it off the glass, no good. Tipped at the basket, and finally it ends up back in the hands of Smith, who backs up and resets the top of the key. Kicks over to Young for a 3. Bricks off the back of the iron. Lambert grabs the rebound, falls to the floor, and gives it up to Lewis. Bluefield pushing the tempo. Mazik all by herself up court. Missed the layup. Bricked it off the bottom of the rim. Late defense coming in for Young. Mazik now walking back on defense, letting the other 4 Rams play by themselves. And a foul called as Smith drives to the basket. The foul's against Lambert. And the first foul shot for Smith is off the mark. Peck comes back in for the Rams. Sarah McKinnon and Leanne McCatley back in for Tennessee Wesleyan. Mariah Mazik to the bench. She'll likely stay to finish out this game. 1:22 left. Second foul shot for Smith is dropped in. It's her first point tonight. And it's 67-35. Lebedeva running the point for the Rams. Inside the right side of the three-point line, gives up to Walford, who bounces out to Tempest Lewis. Lewis, a shot fake, driving in. She's fouled as she fires up a wild shot. Foul shots coming up for Tempest Lewis with 1:05 left to play as she tries to pick up her first points of the game. And she misses the first free throw, too strong off the back of the rim. And Lewis shoots, well, she was 3 of 6 now in the year, 50% from the free throw line. And she hits the second foul shot, so 1 point for Lewis tonight. 1 minute left to play, 67-36 Tennessee Wesleyan. Worked over to McAfee. Back out, Tennessee Wesleyan slowing down the pace here in the final minute. McKinnon goes around the top of the circle to Young. Back over to McKinnon, who's fouled on the way up by Lebedeva. Val picks up her first foul, and foul shots coming up for McAfee, who's trying to score for the first time in this game. Her first shot hits the front of the rim, bounces around, no good. McAfee now 2 of 10 this year on foul shots, and 3 of 11 as she hits the second one for her first point. 68-36, a 32-point lead for Tennessee Wesleyan with 40 seconds left to play in the game. Long trip back for the Rams. It's going to be a long 4-hour bus ride after this blowout loss to the number 10 team in the nation. Lewis drives to the basket, gets the nice turnaround hook shot to roll in. 3 points for Lewis, and it's 68-38. 2-second differential in the shot clock and the game clock for Tennessee Wesleyan, who sets up the offense. And it's stolen away by Wolford. A bad pass. Wolford got it. Now needs to slow down as she nearly lost it in transition. Gives up to Lewis. 12 seconds left to play. Lewis tries to force it inside to Peck, and it's stolen by Young. Excuse me, that was Walkup who stole it. And then Walkup lost it on her own, needed out of bounds. 5.1 seconds left. Gives the Rams a chance to run one last play. Stephanie Lambert inbounds, gives it to Lewis. Lewis puts it on the floor, drives to the elbow, kicks out. Lebedeva pulls up for a 3, and she airballs it, missed the rim by about 4 feet. And that puts the stamp on what was a tough night for Bluefield. The Rams fall tonight against Tennessee Wesleyan, 68-38 on the road. Say the Bulldogs avenged that loss from earlier this year and then some. Men's basketball action coming up in about a half hour. Stay tuned for that. But first, let's recap tonight's game. The Rams blown out by Tennessee Wesleyan, 68-38. Bulldogs shot 42% from the floor in the game, but that percentage was really more around 52-54 until late in the second half, the last 6 minutes or so, when some of the reserves got into play. Bluefield shot 23%, 11 of 48 tonight from the floor, and 3 of 12 from outside. Tennessee Wesleyan hit 3 3-pointers tonight. The Rams shot 13 of 22 from the free throw line. Tennessee Wesleyan led in scoring by a 17-point game from Armika Booker, who also had 6 rebounds. 15 points tonight for Tennessee Wesleyan's leading scorer on the year, Jenna Adams, 15 points and 13 rebounds. 15 points as well for Jared Gasper, who knocked down 4 threes for the Bulldogs. The Rams had just one player score in double figures. It was Shelby Key, who finished the night with 10 points, 5 of 8 from the free throw line. Also had 4 rebounds for the Rams. Second leading scorer was Sharonda Tate, 8 points in the game. 5 points tonight for Destiny Tolliver, who fouled out, playing very limited minutes. She shot just 1 of 9 from the floor. 5 points for Mariah Mazik, also limited minutes with foul trouble. 3 points for Lebedeva and Lewis and Whitney Smith. Smith also in foul trouble throughout the game. She had 4 tonight and only took 6 shots from the floor. A tough night for her, returning pretty close to her hometown. She's from right between here in Athens and Knoxville, maybe about 45 minutes up the road in Farragut, Tennessee. Playing but not scoring for the Rams, Stephanie Lambert made her season debut, grabbed 1 rebound late. Brooke Walford, 0 for 1 shooting, finished with 0 points. Pretty much everyone on the roster played in tonight's game. Literally everybody on the roster that the Rams traveled got into tonight's game in this blowout loss against the number 10 team in the nation. Men's basketball coming up. Tip-off scheduled for 7:30 p.m. Be sure to tune in here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Head back to bcrams.com. Click on the Listen Live link next to the men's score. But that's going to wrap things up for our coverage of tonight's women's basketball action. Bluefield falls to number 10 Tennessee Wesleyan, 68-38. As the Rams' record for the year drops a little bit further below 500. Bluefield on the season. In just a second, rather than wrap that back up. First, Tennessee Wesleyan improves its record now to, it's the only 2 losses on the year. They are 22-2, 14-2 in the Appalachian Athletic Conference. For the Rams, coming off of having won 4 of 5 games, now the Rams have lost 2 straight after the weekend loss in conference play. The Rams are now 10-14 on the season and 7-9. Still in the middle of the pack of the Appalachian Athletic Conference. That's it for our women's basketball coverage. Men coming up in 20 minutes on the Rams Digital Sports Network. My name is Trey Wilson. Thank you for tuning in. See you in 25 or so.